Hell yeah, I've seen terrible deals.
Yeah.
Terrible deals have been in front of me, and I've signed terrible deals.
Yeah.
The dumbest thing I think I've ever done, which is it was actually a blessing to my life. I signed a publishing deal for $75,000 a week before Sorry came out.
Mm-hmm.
And I knew that it was coming out, and I still signed that deal. That was a rookie mistake.
Hey, what's up, everybody? My name is Christian Duran, host of Open Conversations presented by Black Alt Networks. Today, we have a very special guest in the studios, August 08. He's been touring globally. He's got several dope projects working. He's written for top artists and is on the way there himself. How are you today?
I'm wonderful. Thank you for having me.
Let the viewers know who you are. Who is August 08?
I'm August, singer, songwriter, producer, writer, all around talent, and professional eater.
Professional eater. So where along in the art world would you say that you've done your most impactful work? Like songwriting, singing, where is that?
I think the most damage I've done is songwriting and producing. And as an artist, I'm building every day and learning how to be a better artist.
So there's a lot of big songs that have your name attached to it. Did you always want to be a songwriter, or are you looking to, I want to establish my own artistry?
I don't think I always wanted to be a songwriter. I think it was just a means to an end. You know what I mean? A friend of mine growing up named Alan was like, yo, we should songwrite. And we dug into it. We learned a lot about it. I came across James Follower when I was like riding the Long Beach bus. And I fell in love with it. And I was like, well, whatever this dude is doing, I want to try and do that. And we kind of fell into it, and it became something.
Got you. So it seems like your environment has always had a big impact on you. Where did you grow up?
I grew up in LA, all over LA.
All over LA. Do you consider yourself sonically like Western centric? Like there's a hip hop sound that comes out the West and then the East.
I think, well, I'm from the East Side, you know what I mean? The West Coast, but from the East Side. So me being from the East, I think I represent a different part of our cultural behalf all across LA, no matter if it's Long Beach, Linwood, Compton, you know what I mean? The West Side, like West LA, whatever it is, I represent something that's a little different than your typical like rappers like a Kendrick or a YG or you know what I mean? Like the newer rappers are artists coming up, you know what I mean? Like me and my brother Channel Tress, we like represent the otherness that is created, that is like a part of the culture, like a Steve Lacy.
Okay.
Like we represent that side of it.
Got you. So even though you come out of an area that's always been known for hip hop, you're not just putting all your eggs in that basket. Sonically, how are you different than any other artists that are coming out of that area?
I think that I'm different because I've never been a fan of hip hop, and that's disrespectful to say, but I never had any interest. Like I'm not a rapper, so I mean, like I never truly had an interest in that world, even though I've dabbled in that world and I've worked on a lot of rap projects. Like rap is just not my thing. You know what I mean? Like I don't want to sound like Hank Hill or nothing like that, but you know what I mean? I'm not just like the rap guy,
I get you. Yeah. So what are some of the sounds that, creatively you like to hit? What defines your sound?
I think what defines my sound is it truly comes from me. Everything that I create truly comes from me, and I know how to bring things out of people who they may not have ever seen coming out of themselves. And I think that because pop music is a broad spectrum, you know what I mean? And I've grown learning and loving pop, you know what I'm saying? So in that culture, it's about, like, culture of pop music, it's about bringing so many different tastes and worlds together. And I think that I excel at that specifically.
Got you. So, you know, I'm looking on Apple Music or Tidal. I see your credit. Sometimes I see August Grant or August 08. What's the story there? What's it, the personas? What's the difference?
I don't really think it's personas. More so, August Grant was the name I had as a songwriter. And August 08 is the name I had when I became an artist with 88 Rising. Sean Miyashiro gave me that name, August 08. And the tie to it was, he was like, yo, why did you name yourself August? And he was like, we should put the 08 on it. And I was like, oh shit, like, that's my father's birthday. So it just tied in that way. And it was like, oh man, my name became August 08. And the reason I started calling myself August was because that's my father's birth month.
Gotcha.
So it already just tied in super crazy. But before that, growing up, everybody called me Marshall. That was my nickname.
Gotcha. You know, a lot of artists draw sources of inspiration from many places, family being one of them, their background. So what's your, you know, where have you drawn a lot of your experience that you put into music from? You have an album that's, you know, titled with your father in there.
Absolutely. A lot of inspiration is drawn from my Uncle Thelsey. Rest in peace. He passed away a couple years ago. He was like the musical patriarch of our family, like the guy everybody loved and laughed and did all the crazy stuff. And just the internet, honestly, because I grew up on the internet, you know what I mean? So really digging for things to try and be creative and be different, you know what I mean? Like really digging into the different sounds and learning how to measure, put them into a jar and measure a little bit of James Fowler, a little bit of James Blake or Frank Ocean or whoever you want to say, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like putting those things in to develop a sound. I think that's kind of how I got there.
Would you say that you're afraid of the spotlight? As an artist, have you always wanted to be like a very well-known person? Like, what's your journey been like to get more recognition for yourself?
Honestly, I don't think I ever craved the spotlight. I think that God shines a light on things that you do in parts of your lives, no matter if it's personality or matters if it's recognition in so many ways. I think that it all flows naturally. For me, I've never really had an urge to be super famous, but at the same time, you better be popping a little bit if you want to make some bread. So it's just,
you trying to get Coachella main stage?
I'm trying to get. I played main stage last year with 88 Rising.
Okay.
The group I was in, the company I'm a part of.
But now just August 08.
I'm trying to get on Coachella main stage by myself.
That's what's up, man.
That's definitely a goal. That's more of a goal than actually being famous.
Yeah, I mean, for sure. It's like reaching the pinnacle of artistry, you know, like you share the stage with the Gorillaz or Frank Ocean, like you said, Bad Bunny. I mean, so what's it like to, let's see, you said you play keys, you know, bass, guitar. How do you start a song? Do you drop a beat? Do you drop a chord, chord sequence?
The best way to start a song for me is to just try shit. You know what I'm saying? I got an MPC I've been working on. And MPC, I've been making a lot of beats off the MPC lately. I'll do it just like everybody else, splice or hopping on my guitar or getting on some keys, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
I really don't have a set way. Like singing in the shower, I've wrote a lot of songs from singing in the shower.
Okay.
That have popular songs that have come out.
Waterfall?
You said what?
Like your latest collaboration?
Oh, Water Sign.
Yeah.
Nah, I wrote Water Sign in North Carolina.
Okay.
I wrote Water Sign North Carolina like 2 years ago. Yeah, on the Native Instruments machine. I did that on the machine.
Oh, for sure. How much of your work is analog versus digital? Because if you play instruments, like you like the feel of instruments.
I think it's half and half. In the Box is my favorite, to be completely honest with you, because I have a lot of outboard gear, not as much as I don't want to disrespect Dave, because he got all the gear. But at this, like, it's like a balance. Like, I would say, like, in the box is my favorite because I've always been so good at computers growing up. Like, I was a kid who went to the flea market, went to the different places at college when colleges like would have like the different flea markets and like the marketplace, and going to the Paramount swap meet.
Yeah,
I was always the one getting the computers to try and fix them, getting VHSs, like the VCRs to fix them, DVD players to fix them, and like do cool shit with them. So that balance is key in my life. I don't know how to not do both.
Gotcha.
You know what I mean?
Yeah. How much of the music business were you exposed to before you got into music?
Zero. Zilch.
Has it affected you negatively?
I don't think anything should be negative when it comes to life. I think that everything is a learning experience. Me being somebody who's been able to see a lot, like see the world, I think that's payment enough. And I'm not saying like I've touched some real bread. Like, I'm blessed. There's levels to it, but it's a blessing.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, there are a lot of people that would love to be part of the music industry. Do you yourself, make sure, okay, I got to hit this number, or like you said, the travel, the experience is enough reward, but you don't want to get screwed over. Have you ever seen yourself like be on the bad end of a deal? Just on paper, like, of course the experience is beautiful, but on paper.
Oh, hell, well, can I curse? I don't know if I can curse.
Fuck yeah. Yeah, go for it.
Right. Hell yeah, I've seen terrible deals.
Yeah.
Terrible deals have been in front of me, and I've signed terrible deals.
Yeah.
The dumbest thing I think I've ever done, which is, it was actually a blessing to my life. I signed a publishing deal for $75,000 a week before Sorry came out.
Mm.
And I knew that it was coming out, and I still signed that deal. That was a rookie mistake.
So why would you say it's a rookie mistake? Because then the song blows up. You could have
easily recouped it. But it was a rookie mistake because of the retention and how long publishers hold on to your rights. If I could have signed a $75,000 deal with a better retention rate or time, and could have been through that deal, I would have recouped in a week. And do you know what I mean? Like, it's just bad deals happen all the time. I think that I'm not somebody who's jaded by the music industry, because you have to be like hurt by things to be jaded. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
The music industry has only blessed my life. It's gotten on my nerves a lot, but
I'm sure
it's only blessed my life.
So when you work with artists, I mean, Justin Bieber and DJ Khaled, you've got writing credits with them. Do you draw from them musically, like personally and business wise, like, or are they just there and like you guys just link up and make music, or are you learning other aspects of life, about life with them?
I don't think with those two specifically, I've never like learned anything about life. Respect to both of them. But I think I've learned more about life dealing with like Usher and like Poppin' Oak, Nazary Atway, like Rodney Jerkins, who's one of my mentors, like people like that. Like Dogg has been a real blessing to my life too. Snoop Dogg been a real blessing to my life because he's kicked a lot of game and like been like, well, this is how you go about dealing with these people, dealing with these labels. You know what I'm saying? So I learned more so from the OGs in the game and people who I can actually touch more so than people who I've even got big records with. Like, you know what I mean? Shout out Nick Nack. Like people who have been like, that are older than me, who've been like, yo, we're gonna take you under our wing, and we like what you, even if they just like a melody, or they like the way my voice sounds when it's sampled, they like the way I play keys, like all those things are fundamental for somebody to grow in music. And I've been blessed to be a part of so many records in different kinds of ways.
That's awesome. Do you find yourself at a point where you want to start passing that along to talent you might start developing? Like, are you in that part of your career right now?
I've always been there. The first artist I ever like took part in like helping develop was Sabrina Claudio, years and years ago. And I developed Sabrina Claudio. Like I was a huge part of like me and my brother Chandler Stress, we did a lot of stuff together growing up, and like I would say we developed each other.
Yeah.
Like I worked with Duckworth on his first project, Westside Boogie. I discovered Giveon. Like it's a lot of artists that I've worked with in that capacity, and we're still working with, like Starza, Alyssa Milk, like new artists. I do that all the time. That's my favorite thing to do.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Man, I love to hear that. Very well rounded. Sounds like you want to leave a positive mark on, you know, wherever you enter and go through.
Absolutely.
How do you get into a creative space? Like, you said you like to cook, so do you write a better song after a good meal?
Hell no. Aretha Franklin, she eat a burger and can sing her life away.
Yeah. That's not you.
That ain't me. That's I get that itis. I'm El Toxico, you feel me?
Yeah.
I'm a toxic man by nature. So I go through some drama and I get to writing crazy.
Okay. So it kind of gets the fire going.
It gets the fire going.
Yeah.
You know me?
You were showing us a music video you got going, like talk about that project. Very sonically different than what a lot of, you know, your fans might already be hearing. But you told them that you're into that. So now you're like, you produced the beat?
Yeah. So the project I'm dropping is called Pretend It's Okay, A Life in Color. So I'm really stepping into a new space, stepping into like dance music as a whole, because I've been a part of that my whole entire life. Like I was making those kind of records since I was growing up. Me and Channel were in a group together. You probably get mad at me for saying this. We were in a group together called Paris by Night. We made that kind of music, and we were trying to make like this Calvin Harris, Kygo, like summery paradise kind of music. I've just been in that space for so long. So for my fans, it's just one of those things where they just are now going to see that. So some might be like, fuck you. Some might be like, yo, I actually love this direction for you. We'll just see.
So, you know, that's funny that you mentioned that, because in a way, Drake dropped an album that kind of gave him that same attention. You know, we're used to this, Drake, but you're dropping this on us. And a lot of people were like unsure, but look what he bounces back with, you know, like,
yeah,
it should be no different for you. It feels like if your fans have enough trust in your creative freedom, like you're just giving them, you know, you're setting the table for a dope experience.
100%. I'm not gonna compare myself to Drake. Drake is 17 goats put into one.
Yeah, for sure.
He's a legend. But I will say this: when it comes to music, however people are ready to receive it, they're going to receive it that way. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And I honestly was mad at Drake when Drake dropped that project, because I had just told my label, I'm ready to do a dance project, and they were like, okay, cool, let's do it. And then Drake drops, and I'm like, now I'm gonna look like I'm copying whatever.
Oh man.
Then Beyonce comes out, and I'm like, oh shit.
Yep.
Like
back to back.
And I've been talking about doing this project for like 2 years.
Yeah.
So I was just like, well, damn, now it looks like I'm doing this kind of music like everybody else, but who cares? It's tight.
Yeah, for sure. So what gets you into the right headspace to write?
Like I said, toxic traits.
Toxic trait.
You know what I mean? I'm a Capricorn. I'm a walking toxic wasteland of words.
Do you feel like your latest project is something that reflects that? Like any particular experience that you had that you can, you know, remember? Okay, so after that fight, this experience, like it got me, you know, the juices flowing for this song.
I don't think there's one experience. I think that it's just, so where I come from, trauma is the same flavor as tap water. It's something that's fluid. It's something that's natural. It's something that we can't avoid. You know what I mean? Coming from where I come from. So it's like, me just as a writer, I can tap into certain emotions or bounce off of people's emotions, because in my environment that I grew up in, it's such a relatable thing to people always say this all the time. They say, you're more comfortable in war than you are at peace. Mm-hmm. And I think that the environment I grew up in is more comfortable in war, and those toxic moments, those difficult moments. So when I'm writing songs, I naturally thrive on apologies and sadness and understanding those emotions that drive people. The reason why we listen to music.
Yeah.
The reason.
Would you say that writing and your artistry is the main way you deal with that trauma?
Absolutely. Absolutely. There's no other way for me.
Do you feel like you had a stable house? Did you feel like you, who helped bring you into the character you are today?
I didn't grow up in a stable household. My dad left when I was 11, I think. My mom is a great mom, but it's hard to raise a boy. It's hard to raise a boy to be a man, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I was kind of raised by my boy cousins, which that ain't no good example. That ain't like
rough and tumble.
You feel me?
Yeah.
We went through it. Spent most of my like high school life bouncing around, middle school life, like, well, no, not middle school, but high school, bouncing around, same as my, like, being big, super young, you know what I mean? So
Yeah.
I think that my development kind of came from just trial and error, bumping my head.
Would you say that's made you into, like, you know, giving you a thick skin?
Absolutely. I think that me being able to do whatever, even though my mom would probably disagree with this, me being able to do whatever I want to do made me do nothing. Like, I don't drink, I don't smoke, I don't pop pills, I don't do anything like that. Because since I was a kid, I could do it if I wanted to do it. So it kind of had like a reverse effect on me. You know what I mean? Some other people, like certain cousins of mine, it was the other way for them.
Right.
But for me, it just kind of made me calm down and be more stable.
Do you know, is there someone in your family right now that is providing a lot of inspiration at this point in your life? Like, are you in tune with your family? Now that you've got a name, you know, there's some money, maybe, you know, you've made it to a degree.
Yeah.
Are you giving back to your family? Like, what's that relationship like?
There's things I do for my family. Not gonna speak too much on that. But I will say that my house I live in, I'm over in Baldwin Hills, has become the family house. I think that's one of the greatest blessings. And my big cousin Cyrus said that to me the other day. He was like, you don't understand what you do for the family. Like, you having this house and having a place where we all can meet up is like, it means a lot for the family. And my cousin Cyrus is the patriarch of the family. He's the top dog in the family. So for that to come from him, it means a lot. You know what I mean?
For sure, man. That sounds like a big deal. Like, for someone to say that, I mean, that your place has become the beacon for the family. I mean, that's good to hear.
Yeah, that's
sure.
That's too much of a responsibility. That means the house got to be cleaned all the time.
That's funny. Do you keep your house nice and tidy?
Yeah, the house stays pretty good. My girl, she makes sure I ain't too dirty.
Yeah,
I'm a dirty man by nature, so she makes sure I ain't too dirty.
Figuratively, literally. So what do you like to do for fun? Like, what clears your head?
Honestly, I never really been too good with hobbies. I always kind of did things for music, but I've been taking my little walks lately. I've been walking up and down the neighborhood, going up the hill and going to Kenneth Hahn with my little dog. So
okay, yeah, I've been to that park. Would you say that you tend to, I guess, you know, you've been all over the world touring with 88 Rising. Talk about like the contrast there. Do you like to have like a sustained period of that and then come back to peace and then go back out? Or like, do you you got that out of the way and you're set and you want to just like, you know, just be in your studio right now? Where are you currently at?
I'm a tour fiend. I love to tour.
Yeah.
That's my...
What is it about the tour? Just it's freedom?
Not the free, it's just seeing the world.
Yeah.
Like, I get to see the world in every way, the good, the bad, the ugly. And it's like, what better way to experience life and to just leave and just be able to just go places? Like, and it's crazy because being from LA, like a lot of people from LA don't realize this because we be so stuck in our neighborhoods. We be stuck in the hood. Like, your hood is so small compared to the world. Like, if you just go 30 miles, there's a complete different environment that you may love. You know what I mean? And I think that's one of the, because I never wanted to travel at first. I'm gonna stay with the homies. Like, I'm good. I'm gonna be here with my family. That's fine. But once I had my first experience of like going out the country, it literally, like, everybody I've spoken to and like the friends that I've taken out the country with me, have all been like, it changed me as a human being by leaving the comfort of home and going somewhere else. I even saw that for the first time with my girl when we went to Asia. We went to Indonesia, we went to Japan and Philippines.
Yeah.
And seeing the person she came back as is like mind blowing, because you really do, like, it's some kind of weight that comes off your shoulders, that life is so much bigger than you are when you decide to go away from what you're used to.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It's like self-validating. Like, the world validates you in a way of saying, oh my God, like, those possibilities that we thought, like, thinking about endless possibilities when you're stuck inside of a room you're inside of a sealed box, right?
Mm-hmm.
Only thing that's coming through is aircon. If somebody places a window, if they give you a window, you're gonna damn near cry, because you're gonna be like, oh my God, like, my whole environment changed. Now I have sunlight.
Yeah.
I can hear birds chirping. I can see cars driving by. I think that's what it does for people when they leave the country. I know it did it for me, and I see it in my people too. It changes your mind completely, and it brings you a sense of peace that life is so much bigger than just you.
Yeah. That's a dope response. I feel like, that, and that's funny because that's always the first stage of the hero's journey. You set out on the adventure, and you can have multiple adventures just kind of concurrently going. And it sounds like you've got, a couple routes that you're going down right now. That's very exciting though. I can't wait to hear your next project.
Thank you, man.
Yeah. Yeah. I feel like, is there anything you want to tell the fans? Like, shout out to, any particular part of the world that you're missing? Japan, Indonesia.
I don't want to say I have a favorite, but Japan is in my top 5 for sure.
Oh, for sure. You going back for a personal?
I gotta go back. I'm going back this year for personal.
Yeah. But
I ain't gonna say about no shows, because then people gonna be expecting it.
Mm-hmm.
We might be going back to Japan sooner than I thought.
Yeah.
Japan, London is on my list. I'm supposed to be going to London in a couple months. So those are in Paris. I had a whole flight to Paris booked, and then like the monkeypox scare happened.
Oh shit. Yeah.
And then we couldn't go because they wouldn't let nobody in the country. But
damn,
I'm trying to get back to Paris. See, I've been to Paris like 3 times, and I'm definitely trying to go back.
Yeah, we're over pandemics, man. Over any kind of health scare.
Oh yeah. At this point, like I'm not gonna speak too much on the world stuff, because they
it always gets people in trouble, man.
They gonna take that sound bite.
Yeah.
God bless America.
Enemy of the people.
Straight up, God bless America.
Yeah, that's cool, man. I'm glad to see that. You got a lot of clout to your name around the world, and now you're building it up here, where you feel at home. So
absolutely,
good stuff.
I appreciate that, and I'm excited to see how America reacts to the music, because the rest of the world understands. But I'm glad to see how they react here. You know what I mean?
Yeah.